Hey everybody, it's Lindsay, and this is going to be a self-tanner review, overview, and then some of my tips. I picked up a bunch of self-tanners over the past couple weeks, and I've been really trying them, and I've been taking a lot of notes so that I remember what I did and didn't like about them. So that I can let you know kind of like what my thoughts are on them, and if you're new to self-tanners, maybe just some help to get you started. So this is probably going to be a long video because I want to share all of my tips for applying self-tanners and using self-tanners, and then also share with you my reviews of the ones that I've tried. So I'll start out with my tips, and forgive me if I'm looking down kind of a lot. I don't want to miss anything, so I wrote a bunch of stuff down. First off, if you're going to be doing your whole body, I definitely suggest using gloves, even if the self-tanner is not tinted, because sometimes it can just be hard to wash off your hands. And I find that even if I do a large part of my body, and even if I really scrub my hands afterward, they can sometimes still turn a slightly orange. They can smell weird the next day. No matter how many times I wash them, they will still smell weird, and they get kind of dry feeling. Self-tanners, at least the ones that I've tried, dry out your skin a little bit. So, you know, I'm sure higher end self-tanners don't do that as much, but yeah, so if you're doing your whole body, I would definitely recommend using a pair of plastic gloves. A lot of people ask about getting your back. As for the aerosol sprays, I have never tried those on my whole body, so I can't tell you how to do that in the back. But what I do is I'll just show you here, and maybe I'm more flexible, so if you're not as flexible, you might need somebody to help you. But I just put it, like I get my arms and everything like that, and then I put it on my hands, and I like just kind of like stretch around like this. And I can really get a good portion of the middle of my back that way. And I can kind of go up my back, I can go down, you can reach around the side. Like, I don't have a problem with that. And I'm usually not wearing anything that people will see my back anyway, so I normally only do my face, my chest, and maybe my arms, especially in winter. I'm not usually like using a self-tanner if I'm gonna be in a bathing suit, or if I usually don't wear halter tops or anything like that. So back isn't as much of a concern for me, but if you can do that, just kind of like do the opposite arms and reach around. All right, and then so next one is, if you have any dry patches, blemishes, anything like that, anything where there's dry skin, broken skin, do not apply self-tanner. The self-tanner will stick and really develop on dry skin, and those areas will have more color to them. And then also, as they fall off, the rest of your skin will be tan, and that spot will not be. I have learned that the hard way. So only use it on, you know, well moisturized, healthy skin. What I do when doing my face, I always put a moisturizer on first and then put it on, so it's just not so much of a harsh color, and also because I need that moisturization before tanning. Also, be careful with your eyes. Most of the self-tanners I use will burn your eyes from the fumes, or if they get in your eye. So if you have to, like, if you're using an aerosol, then I take like a towel and really wipe off my eyes afterwards. And then I also be careful with eyebrows, because I noticed that the color will gather on your eyebrows, and then you'll have kind of orangey looking skin under your eyebrows. So every time I take a Q-tip, put a little bit of soap and water on it, and just clean off just where my eyebrows are, not around it or anything, and just really clean that off, because you don't want that skin under there tan, and you don't want it looking orange under there. So another one is, I self-tan right before bed, because first of all, then I don't have to even think about it. I just wake up with a glow, and then you can wash it off. If the smell bothers you, you can just wash it off then, and the smell will pretty much be gone. And especially if it's a tinted color, it can often look blotchy, and I just don't want that. Also, I don't want to put a self-tanner on in the morning and then do my makeup and possibly, like with my liquid foundation or something, wipe some of it off, or have that color develop and then my skin not match my makeup. So I just like to do it at night, just get it out of the way. I don't notice that it stains my sheets that much, but I don't have white sheets, and almost always it washes out if you wash it within a reasonable amount of time. So that's not a concern for me. Also, most of them suggest waiting at least 4 hours before getting wet after you apply them. So don't apply it, wait an hour, and then shower, because it's not going to develop as you want it to. Almost all self-tanners recommend that you exfoliate first. like I sometimes do that. I'm usually not doing my whole body, so I don't worry about it as much. I normally don't have trouble with streaking. Some people, like my roommate, really has trouble with streaking, so it is definitely recommended that you exfoliate and moisturize first. And then also, any spot that has a joint or that is dry, you want to put lotion on beforehand, just a regular lotion. Elbows, knees, ankles, anything like that that is dry, where the color will develop and really stick there more than the rest of the spots. And like nobody naturally has super tan elbows, so you don't want that. So just take a little bit of regular lotion beforehand and put it on your elbows, put it on your hands, knees, ankles, all that kind of stuff. And then also to get your hands, this is what I do. I wear gloves for all of it, and then I take the gloves off, and then I just take a cotton ball and put a little bit of the self tanner on there, and then start to kind of just lightly go over my hands, very lightly, and then go up the fingers, just because you want them to match with your arm, but you don't want a super tan hand. And then also like take the cotton ball and really pretty much with basically nothing on it, buff over this, because that is a big telltale sign of self tanning when you have like, you can usually really see it here, like orangey waves there, orangey streakiness. So just kind of buff that out and it'll look a lot more natural for you. All right, so those are my tips. Now I'll get to the self tanners. First of all, I want to talk about Jergens Daily Glow. It's the one that came out so long ago. It's in the big tube. I don't have it to show you, but it's a gradual tanner. And basically the idea is you put it on for several days and then you gradually build up to a tan. I don't like Jergens, just the Daily Glow, just because for me, by the time I got the color I wanted, it was already starting to come off. Like the first spot for me that starts to wipe away is like right here in the middle of my chest. And in the shower, like after you get your shower, you notice that when you dry off, it'll start to, the color just kind of like wipe away there. And then that looks so stupid. So I don't love it. I think it smells gross because you have to put it on so many days. I think it's a waste of product. I want to be able to use a self tanner and the next day wake up tan. I don't care. I mean, I don't get comments like, oh my word, you look tan. Like, where were you? Like, if you're really fair, Jergens Natural Glow would definitely be a better option for you. Or if you're starting out and you're nervous about application or worried about streaking, because it really is foolproof because it's such a gradual increase in color. You're not going to see, you know, wake up with big streaks down your arm or something like that. Oh, what's on my arm? A little smudge there. Something weird. Okay. So then that's basically all about that one. And then Neutrogena Micro-Mist. I use this pretty much all winter. This was one of my monthly favorites. I really like this. I have this right now in medium, 2 shades darker. I have it in 3 shades darker also. For winter, I was really using the number 2. I like this one because it's so easy. All I do is take, you know, at night right before I go to bed, I have all my makeup off, everything. I put a face lotion on, and then I just spray it all, close my eyes, spray it all over my face, and then all over my chest. I don't really do my arms because in winter I'm wearing long sleeves anyway, but you know, if there's any kind of a low cut top, I hate my face not to match my chest. So really nice. One time I did do my arms with this, and I did notice that wherever I must have put it too heavy, it kind of had a streak down my arm. So I don't know how great this is for the whole body. You really just want to have a light application, and it'd probably be best to try and do this over 2 nights rather than get all your color one night. So really do a light application. Again, you know, go over the eyebrows, and this can sting your eyes because it's really getting on your eyelashes. But I do like this. With all of the self tanners that I have tried, so I don't need to say this with all of them, they dry my skin out, and basically my face. I don't notice it on the rest of my body, but my face gets dry. The day after I use the self tanner, the top layer of my skin on my face is just like, it just, you know, it's almost like it just like died because it looks a little scaly. My makeup doesn't look as good. So I haven't been using really self tanners on my face just because I hate that. So I'd rather build up my face with makeup. I mean, not like cake it on, but I'd rather use a little bit of bronzer to match my face to my body than use a self tanner that's gonna really dry out my skin. So if you know of a self tanner that is really good, that doesn't dry out your skin, and you know that because you've tried it, let me know. It's probably gonna be a high-end one. Alright, so because I have trouble with self tanners drying out my face, I tried one specifically for the face. And I did the Jergens Natural Glow Healthy Complexion Daily Facial Moisturizer. It says it gradually creates a natural looking color, SPF 20. I have the bottle at home. I left the bottle at home, but I have the package. And since this one is for the face, I thought, well, maybe that would help. This was actually very nice as a moisturizer. I really liked it. I stopped using my Garnier moisturizer. I just used this during the day. I didn't use it at night. I used it in the morning. And because it's gradual, I didn't worry about it not matching my makeup or anything like that. But I thought it might start to smell weird or get greasy. I actually liked the smell. It did not get oily at all. It didn't make me oily, even with that SPF in it and it being self-tanner and not, you know, just a face moisturizer. But I didn't notice a huge difference in the color. I used it for a week straight and I got it for medium to tan skin tones and I really didn't notice much difference. So if it was tanning my skin, it wasn't anything that I could tell. And I want to be able to tell. So it probably was doing a little something, but not enough that would make me recommend this. So unless you're fair, I don't recommend this. I feel like all of these are like that. But so that's my thought on that one. All right, and then the next one is Saint Tropez. I don't have it because I returned it. I got the bronzing mousse, the one in the pump, the mousse pump that everybody talks about here on YouTube. That one, everybody loves the color. It's so natural. Doesn't look orange at all because it has more of a green base. When you see it, you can tell it's a little bit of a brownie green, which helps counteract that oranginess that you can get from self-tanner. I tried it, and this was my problem with it. You absolutely have to wear gloves. Otherwise, your hands will be completely brown. So there's no option. There's no getting around gloves there. You have to wear gloves. I thought it was a little bit hard to work with because it's the mousse. So then it just kind of foams it up, and then you put it in your hand, and then when you rub it out to like put it on your face, it turns into like liquid. I think cream is easier to work with. Also, the first time I tried to use it, I had pretty clear skin and everything, but I did have a little spot that had been healing, and I thought it would be fine. I mean, with all my other self-tanners, it would have been fine. Oh no, because it has that color in it, it's colored very dark so you see where you're putting it, it all stuck to that dry spot. It looked so stupid. It looked like a big brown spot on my face. I was horrified, and it would not wash off. So I just had to like let it there. It looked awful. So you really would have to have good hydrated skin to use it. The reason why I returned it is because I used it and I saw no color difference in my skin. None. My one really good friend who was very fair used it and she loved the color. I mean, it turned out so well on her. And the reviews didn't really say anything like that people were complaining that the color didn't show up on them. So I may have to try that one again and see what I think, because maybe I didn't give it enough of a chance. Like, I'm just used to trying like Neutrogena or something. I put it on and the next day I definitely have a tan. With that, maybe you do have to work with it a little bit. But if it wouldn't dry out my skin and if it's a very natural looking color, I would be willing to purchase that again. But also it's $40 for 8 ounces, so it is very expensive. But maybe I will have to try that again. Maybe I didn't give it quite enough time to really know if I like it or not. Next one that I picked up is the L'Oreal Sublime Bronze Self-Tanning Gelee. And this is like a clear jelly. And this is in medium natural tan, quick dry, ultra lightweight formula, vitamin E. That is a lie. It was so easy to apply, but this is not quick dry. Oh my goodness. I feel like it didn't set on my skin. I put it on and maybe I was putting it on too thick. I don't think so. I feel like it should still dry. I waited so long. I waited probably a half an hour the last time I used this before going to bed, and it was still in spots, was kind of like tacky and wet, which makes me really uncomfortable because then it makes me feel like I'm gonna be wiping it off in bed. If I'm like looking down reading, I might have creasing here. I just don't like, if it's gonna say fast, like quick dry, I want it to dry quickly, and this didn't, at least for me. But it did have a very nice color, a lot of color. I really had a noticeable difference in the morning, and I didn't have streaking. So even though it didn't dry and I was worried about that, it didn't have streaking, so I don't worry about that too much. It has a nice, very light scent, not overly scented. And then, yeah, like I have my notes here. I did have a deep tan with this, with just one application, so that was nice. But mainly the problem was that it didn't set for me. And I did write down, it said the color in less than 1 hour. So less than an hour, I guess the first time I used this. I've been using, like switching these all out, so I kind of forget everything That's why I wrote it down. But yeah, so I did notice color starting to develop in less than an hour. So if you're looking for something quick, this might be a good option for you. All right, the next one is Banana Boat Summer Color Self-Tanning Mist Airbrush Color. And this is for all skin tones. Okay, that should probably kind of start you off right away. That's maybe like, all skin tones. And then look at the colors here. It says for all skin tones. I'm sorry, but I have a hard time believing that if you are this dark, first of all, that you're using a self-tanner, if you're that dark, or is it suggesting that you could get that dark? I think it's suggesting that if you're that dark, you would use that self-tanner. And I don't believe that. This would not show up on you. Nothing would show up on you if you're that dark. But, oh well. So it says fresh citrus fragrance. All I remember, it says advanced fragrance technology. I don't remember if I smelled like self-tanner the next day, but holy crap, this stuff smells gross when you put it on. And I'm not picky about smells. Like, not many things. I hear a lot of people are, when they're talking about products, they're like, oh, the smell was awful. And I'll have it and be like, I don't mind the smell. This smelled horrible for me. Like chemical, like for them to call it citrus. I don't even remember what it smells like. I'm gonna spray it here on this tissue I used to wipe something off on. Oh yeah, total chemical. I don't even know what to call it. I guess I could smell a hint of citrus in there, but like chemical, weird, very strong scent. Yes, that really bothered me. It didn't spray as evenly as the Neutrogena Micro-Mist. Sprayed kind of choppy. It was a light natural color. I did write down that I had even color, but it wasn't gonna get me as dark as the Neutrogena can and the Sublime Bronze. This one got me really dark. So not gonna get you as dark, but if you're more fair, maybe this would work for you. But I like that Neutrogena has different levels. They have 2 and 3. I don't know if they have a 1, but at least you can vary a little bit what you want. This, if you wanted to get darker, you would have to apply it multiple nights. I don't like that as much because then you're using more product. All right, so the next one is, the nice thing about this is it was really reasonable. At Walmart, it was around $6, and the rest are usually around $10, $12 if you're at CVS or something like that. So the next one is also by Banana Boat, and this is a Summer Color Self-Tanning Lotion, Deep Dark Color, Self-Adjusting Color for Natural Looking Tan, Streak-Free. Again, this is for all skin tones. Find that one hard to believe, but whatever. Okay, so this one, it is a tinted cream. I'll show you the color of it. Really natural looking cream. Often they're super dark, or like I know the ones, L'Oreal Sublime Bronze had kind of a glittery finish to it. My roommate used that a long time ago. That is so weird. I do not want glitter on my body, especially if I'm using it before bed. But this one had I really liked the color. When you put it on, it wasn't so dark that it looked just kind of gross. It wasn't like it was just a color guide so you know if you missed a spot or anything. It really looked like a natural tan just putting it on. So if you are a person who likes to wear, put on your self-tanner, you know, in the morning before you're going out or something, this could give you that instant color, and then maybe you wouldn't have that difference in your makeup because you've already had that color before putting on your makeup. So really liked the color. I said it looks very nice and natural. I said it has a natural color after developing. So I mean, I did like the color. All of these are slightly, I mean, none of them are going to make you look like you literally spent a week out at the beach. I mean, I get more brown, and none of these were like brown. But you know, still a nice natural color. It wasn't overly orange or Oompa Loompa or anything like that. I did notice that using this before bed, the bronzer part of it kind of looked blotchy by the morning, but I just washed it off anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It smells very nice. It dried really fast. That's definitely a plus because I don't want to fool around with it. Yeah, so that's basically all I have about that one. And then the last one was recommended to me by someone on Beauty Broadcast, and I'm sorry I don't remember who recommended this one to me, but this one is from Sally Beauty, and this is Toma's Total Tan for a perfect dark natural looking sunless tan self-tanning lotion. And that is what that looks like. I've never heard of this, but I looked up reviews on Makeup Alley and things like that, and it had really good reviews. It is 5 ounces, and this was around $13, so a little more pricey than the other ones, but everyone said that the color is amazing, that it's a cheaper version of Saint Tropez. I have not tried the Saint Tropez lotion, so I can't really tell you that. It also says paraben free, so if that's important to you, then that's good. So this one, as you can see, super dark color. really dark coming out of it. And it's a really thick cream, which is nice. I kind of like that. It was really thick, and I used gloves with it. It comes with a pack of gloves, so obviously you need to use the gloves with it. And I noticed that the more I rubbed it in, the more it really evened out. I had no streaking with the bronzer. It looked really nice. Probably the most natural of the colors. I'm not gonna say it like, oh my word, it's miles apart from the other ones. Probably a little more natural. It's the one I did most recently. You know, I've showered in between, and I didn't just do it last night, so I did notice it wore away a little bit, but it did give me a really nice natural color. Did not dry out my face as much as the Neutrogena Micro-Mist, which is good, but still did dry it out a little bit. And I liked it. I guess I could smell the self-tanner smell slightly the next day, not as bad as some of the other ones, some of the drugstore ones. Sorry, I'm saying a lot. It's because I don't have notes for this one. I used this one most recently. I am impressed with this. I will continue to use this one. The other ones, maybe not. But yeah, I will continue to use this one. The only problem with this one is I used it 2 nights in a row, and I don't see a huge difference. I definitely can tell, you know, there's a difference between my chest and arms and my legs and things like that, but not a huge difference. So if you're not looking for, you know, something super dark, this is a good option for you. I do like it because it is more natural. So this is probably the one I'll continue using. This one's probably my favorite. Really like Neutrogena Micro-Mist. And I liked the color that this one gave me, but I hated that it didn't dry. I hated the feeling. I probably won't continue to use that. So I know this is super long. Some of you probably stopped watching a long time ago, but I just wanted to give you an overview because I know I've gotten lots of questions about what self-tanner I use, what I recommend, how I get my back, things like that. If you have any further questions, please ask. If you have any suggestions for me, please let me know. I'm looking for one that doesn't dry my face out, but has a nice natural color. And I wouldn't mind trying something high-end because it's definitely better than being in the sun. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on these products and what you think and what you like, and I will talk to you soon. See you guys.